Alright, everything should be ready. I think our first stage is going to be Buster Beach. When both players are ready, we can begin the 24th Scrapstar Series. 24 of these. That's a lot. That's a lot of these. Wow. Shout out to everybody who... Shout out to Rifa for being in 23 of these, holy gods. And to everybody else who just frequently drops by, visits, participates, and hangs out during the Scrapstar Series. Penzo going in. Kid Cobra. This Kid Cobra's hot. He's got a Fire Dragon loadout with that nade equipped on the side. And yeah, I'm gonna go in with the Parasol Sparky. Two preferred arms of Yam's general tools, especially that Parasol. Really good at utilizing that Wind element. That good, some strong knockback off of that. It's also just a really solid defensive tool and great at parrying. It's definitely gonna give Yam a lot of advantage in this first round, as it's going. That large body allows it to have a much easier time fighting back against this nade and that Dragon Beam. So far, Penzo knocked into the Hot Pocket is at critical health. He's gonna start trying to find his way out. He's getting a couple of quick 1-2s here. And that rush is going to get dodged and punished. That immediately puts Penzo back on the map and is now looking for that one final hit. And the Dragon Laser is not going to be at the Parasol, just narrowly saving Yam's hide. And a Sparky going to allow him to get the first KO. Don't forget, if you see any hype moments, make a clip. Make clips. Highlight them. Share them with friends. Or me, I guess. And so going to switch over to the Boomerang here. Looking to try to have a tool that can kind of compete against that Parasol a little more effectively. As it's just going to be coming in from the sides, which makes that Parasol a lot less effective at those perfect parries. Yeah, I'm starting off holding on light lead. Has yet to get that Dragon Arm ready, as Penzo has just been effectively keeping this pressure going. Getting in a couple of nice Dragon's positions just to continue holding Yam back and preventing him from having that position. Rush coming out, and it's going to connect. Penzo going to try to punish it, but just did not have enough airtime. And that's going to allow Yam probably to be set in motion to take this, but quick grab going to give Penzo a little bit more room to start fighting back. And one trade is going to be all Yam needs to take the first point. Okay, and I need to set outputs for everything. Oh, I just need to choose a folder there. Desktop, scoreboard, outputs, select folder. Okay. Okay, let's see if that actually pops up now like I'm hoping. And it looks like we're going to be going to Temple Grounds next. See, I can get really addictive into work. Like, now I'm trying to desperately fit this in every moment that I have. That's like... I need to just sit back for a minute and not worry, but I really want to get this rolling and then potentially be able to slip it in during these matches. Heading into the next stage, we are going to be going to Temple Grounds. Penzo has made quite the change of loadout, putting away pretty much his entire set, and is going to go in with the Hydra Lockjaw. Two very powerful arms, great at covering that verticality, and also a very strong, just heavy counter to that Parasol. But Min Min's movement is just really good, and if you cannot line these shots, if you're struggling to line these shots up, Min's probably going to have a pretty easy time dodging out of these attacks, getting some solid damage, and just keeping that pressure going. So far, this larger stage is more space for Penzo. Has definitely been helping him out. He's getting a couple of nice punishes, keeping both players at about even, with Yam just holding onto the lightest of leads. And this rush going to just deepen that lead, 350 damage. Penzo's got a rush ready. He can start getting that pressure going, but tough part is actually getting close enough to be able to set things up. That knockdown's going to give him a little bit more room, but Penzo only has like 1 health bar right now, and it's going to get taken away. Penzo switching over to the Bub, activating the Cobra Glove Club powers, and starts off with a strong rush, utilizing that lockjaw just for that high burst damage along with that safe Bub rush confirm, just really giving himself a decent opportunity to start strong. Yam's gonna quickly push back though, is getting some nice damage on Penzo, just some solid pressure. He's got to find his way around that lockjaw. Having the Phoenix as the Dragon Arm can arguably help, as that's going to allow for just the Phoenix to better catch those sweeping movements. But if Penzo's just staying on the move, he might be able to just have no problem with it, and he could probably still box it out with that lockjaw. Parasol is especially weakened in this case, as Penzo kind of just outboxes it in every case. Nice rush, keeps Yam in this fight. But Penzo just has such a steady loadout that he's kind of holding little issue fighting back against both the Yam's arms. And he's going to be able to take the second round, bringing the score to 1-1. Penzo does need to be able to take this next round. If he misses out on this, Yam will be moving on to face off against, it looks like Rifa, in the semifinals. Penzo starting off strong, getting some nice pressure. Without that Phoenix, Yam's having a harder time boxing through these two massive arms. Scully definitely a solid pick, but it does have the downside of just being a light arm and can easily get boxed down by pretty much anything Penzo throws out. If Yam's not getting those shots to weave in between those cracks. And Penzo so far has yet to be hit, is actually kind of rolling on a perfect, and is just looking for that final hit. Yam's going to desperately try to fight it back. Going to be able to succeed. 285 damage plus that poison tick, but that's going to be all. As Penzo gets one final chain of hits in and brings the score to 1-1. Okay. That didn't do anything. Wait, I've got to update. Let's see what that does. It did nothing. Score now 1-1. Both players looking to be able to move on in the brackets, keep themselves in a nice advantage place. It just means one less match they'll have to do if they can take this, regardless of the outputs against Rifa. Penzo sticking with this loadout. Yam going to go back to the Sparky. Recognizing that Scully just was not working out. These two medium weight arms definitely going to struggle against that lockjaw if Penzo's just lining up these shots. But otherwise, definitely can see these two arms just kind of weaving in between the attacks and allowing Yam to get some nice pressure and damage. A nice double punch, going to be able to sneak through that Bub. The lockjaw still just in the process of recovering. Wasn't going to allow Penzo to get a nice punish in that exchange. A lot of nice dodges from Yam, just focused on making sure they move out of the way of these very slow and cumbersome arms. Rush gonna come out and connects. Yam starting off strong, takes the first round. And it looks like Penzo's gonna respond. He's going to go full in on those reins. Double boomerang, gonna try to just curve out against those gloves. And a rush to start things off is definitely gonna put himself in a nice place, as he quickly sweeps Yam away and holds a light lead against him. Some nice, solid boxing on Yam's part, allowing him to get that first hit in, keep himself from getting too much more damage. But these sneaky Cobra slips, just diving underneath these attacks, allows Penzo to get a strong grab. And now, Yam, at critical health, cannot take too much more damage. These boomerangs just coming in a little faster than Yam might be hoping for, as he constantly is just getting caught out by them. Might have had an opportunity for a comeback, but the boomerang speed, the angles, the curves, just kind of catching Yam out time and time again. And now that's going to lead Penzo into this final potential round and gets the first hit. Meaning that Penzo does have light advantage. He's going to get caught by that rush. Now Yam definitely going to try to charge up as much rush as possible before Penzo throws out his, just so they might have that rush advantage going into this. A nice safe block is going to allow Yam just to kind of hold on to that health lead too. Freeze. Not going to be able to follow up anything. These sparky hits just kind of doing some light damage. Nothing too serious though. Pretty much any other glove would probably be doing a bit more. Not following up with those confirms off of the sparky. Not the easiest thing to do against Kid Cobra either. Just because he's always in the air. He's always dashing. So even if you get a solid hit on him, generally you're not expecting it. Or he's just going to get knocked over instead. Nice opportunity. Gets that Dragon Arm set up again. And now is just looking to try to pepper those shots in. Penzo looking to just try to weave his way around. But he's going to get knocked into critical. And now that rush can't take him out. 20 seconds left on the clock. He's got to be careful. And that is it. Penzo not going to be able to box through that rush. Yam ready with the counter. Going to be able to take the set 2-1. Alright, and with that, that does mean that, yeah, Penzo's going to be knocked into the lower brackets, facing off against Alumento, and Yam will be moving on to face off against Rifa. We could potentially stream the other semi-final match, though I'm not sure if it's too important to. Let's see, how do I get Yada's letter? Wait, it's not gonna work in the ARMS font, is it? Yeah, it's gonna just do a... Yeah, it's just confused. Yada and... Shady. Perfect. So I'm sure pretty much all of you know by now who Yada is, but we don't see them too often in the Scrapstar series just due to rough scheduling. So quickly cover up who this player is and what they do. This is a Ribbon Girl player, one of the best, especially in EU. Has placed top of the PR before. Generally known for a very aggressive Ribbon Girl that actually focuses more on just, rather than staying in the air, is generally on the ground and then uses that jump to quickly leap into the air, evade, and punish in so many cases. But it looks like we are going to be seeing them step in with Min Min, as they've been doing a little bit of labbing on the side. Shady not going to hold back, just quickly throws on their own Ribbon Girl. Is going to try to start off this match very strong. Yada going in with a Megawatt of their own. Definitely one of, if not the best heavyweight arm, just because of that stun, that little paralyze that it's capable of pulling out. And especially when you have a large girth size, it's just this massive body that's really difficult for a lot of players to work around, evade, and even punish at times. Starting off the round, both players relatively close on health, neither really getting too much of a lead. Shady just focusing on trying to dodge out of the way of these attacks. And we are seeing, because of that, these pillars are quickly dropping down. And soon we will have no pillars left on the field, meaning that Shady will just be forced to stay out in the open. And that rush confirmed, quickly connecting off of the Megawatt, is going to allow Yada just to further cement that health lead. Shady now in a much rougher place, as these quick little exchanges, these 1-2 small taps, just really working out in Yada's favor. Shady gonna switch over, trying to go in with the double toaster. That's gonna be a little difficult against just such a massive weight disadvantage, but with solid movement, with good plays and positioning, I could definitely see these two toasters working out. Just gotta make sure you're dodging out of the way of that Megawatt. Yada trying to force an opportunity to get that Dragon Arm, but these toasters just coming back so quickly. Boxing down time and time again. That grab going to be Yada's opportunity for this Dragon Arm to come in. And Shady now really struggling to try to keep up against this weight, as these two gloves kind of are just getting countered pretty hard by a single glove on Yada's side, and then that Megawatt just complementing things perfectly. As soon as Shady makes even the slightest mistake, that Megawatt just allows for a perfect follow-up and punish on that rush. Not going to do too much damage, but doesn't really need all that damage, as just taking away your opponent's rush is just so rewarding on its own. Another stun, another grab follow-up, and Yada going to be able to take the first game with a massive health lead. 9 perfect on that one. And it looks like we're going to be heading to Sparring Ring for our next match. I wonder if Shady's going to just change characters. Yetta? Oh, noted. I would suspect that Shady would want to switch over to Twin Tail. Looks like Yetta is also going to be going to Twin Tail though, so I'm not sure if Shady's pick, if Shady will want to go to that Twin, or if Ribbon Girl's going to be the main and stay pick here. Yetta ready, stepping into the ring. Just waiting on Shady to step in, and we are going to have ourselves a Twin Tail mirror matchup. Shady gonna try to use one of their strongest characters, one of their strongest picks, to fight back against Yetta and potentially start bringing some manner of a comeback. But Yetta's not an easy opponent to play against, and is gonna show that just by starting off with a classic Dendy grab. That uncharged hit followed up by a grab popularized by Dendy from the NA community. Basically, just how that kind of happens is usually if you're close enough and you connect an uncharged hit against your opponent, the flinch, the knockback that they have, while it's not enough for them to fall to the ground, it can stun them for just long enough that you can get a grab confirm or play off a bit of a mix-up, because it forces them to have to either quickly go in for a punch, most players generally will hesitate or go for shield, which means that you'll just be able to quickly follow up with a grab and just score a huge amount of damage. Yetta holding onto a solid lead here. Off of that rush exchange, neither player really taking too serious of a hit. And that chalk from that roaster just not keeping up right now with the toaster and coolerang. Yetta just dancing and playing around these attacks, not getting caught, mostly just shield hits. As these arms just are allowing Yetta to quickly recover, get that shield up and ready. That actress aura just allowing Yetta to have as much time as they want to get that shield rolling. And with that health lead, basically forcing Shady to not be able to capitalize on their actress aura. A Twin Tail Mirror matchup is very much whoever gets the lead is generally going to just hold that lead, that advantage. Because one has to start playing worse, and the other just gets to play how Twin Tail wants to play. If those two haven't started yet, we can definitely do that one next. Shady gonna switch over to the tribal. That's gonna allow for a wider coverage, catch those quick dashes, those slight adjustments of movement. Yeah, we'll stream your match then. I didn't really say anything, so I was kind of just letting you two decide. Quick disarm. Yada gonna start off with a strong lead again, even off of that successful rush from Shady. Yada's holding a health lead and has yet to use that rush. Shady quickly charging up, almost has another rush ready. Will likely be wanting to throw it out right away just to get that little bit more damage. Holds that lead just barely over Yada, but if that tribal can connect charged, that is a grab. Shady just a little too tense right now, not able to follow up on that opportunity. A safe block is going to save them from a KO, but Yada just looking for a couple more hits to be able to take Shady out. That miss on that grab might be all. That might be it if Shady cannot get a single hit more. And you can tell Shady is very tense about this end. One more hit's going to be able to connect. Shady keeping themselves in this game and choosing to go in with double toasters from here. Starting off strong, landing a full 330 rush, and starting off with that light health lead. Double roaster is definitely an interesting pick. It can definitely work out as long as Shady is outboxing these attacks, just keeping that boxing momentum, that movement really on point, and just working around all of these attacks. So far going in for a lot of double punches, and then that one time Shady chooses not to double punch, Yetta's actually going to capitalize on that. That grab not recovering quick enough. Shady gonna quickly get swept away and a juggle. Yetta now just holding approximately like a 30%, 40, almost a half of a health bar lead right now against Shady. This is not a good place for Shady to want to be in. That rush is ready if they find an opportunity that can potentially set things in motion to bring things back in Shady's favor. But I don't think Shady can get hit a single time more. And there's just so many projectiles coming in, so many arms just flying out. That rush is not going to work. And Yetta going to take Shady down 2-0. And we'll be moving on in the brackets. Alright, we'll do Rifa next. Rifa and Yam will be next in our matches. Hello. Let's see, how are things going otherwise? It looks like they're going. Elemento and Penzo are still dancing against each other. Okrim was able to take Yoshi Bowser down 2-0 and will be awaiting the player who's knocked down in this match. Who joined in first? Oh, Rifa joined in first. Of course Rifa joined in first. That's how Rifa be. Rifa is hot. Yes, that is accurate. Rifa, what are you doing using the heart? You have a hug emote now. Use the hug emote. You can hug Louisvella now through emote. Give her hugs. I demand it. Rifa. I'm upset. Yoshi Bowser will do a hug. There, perfect. Rifa going in with one of his custom Ninjara loadouts. We've got ourselves a Popper Lockjaw starting things off. Yeah, I'm going to be going in with a couple of solid counters. That Parasol and Phoenix allowing some nice defense and offense around these tools. But both can easily be evaded. And if Yam's left too exposed, both of these arms can do a very serious job. And just really take Yam out for a trip. This is also a very powerful and dangerous rush if Rifa can get this lined up. Just needs any charged popper to connect and it would be a confirm. And you can tell he's looking for it and he's going to be able to immediately follow up. 340 damage. Yam now quickly placed into critical health. Cannot take too much more, only a couple more hits. Or just a feisty grab would be enough. But Yam does have that Dragon Arm ready. Has tempo slightly in their favor. Unfortunately, as soon as they lose that tempo, that's going to be curtains for them. But, so the big challenge here is just making sure they do not lose that tempo. Gets the rush to connect. Rifa still holding on to just a little bit advantage on health. And is just, right now, more focused on making sure he doesn't get hit. There is one of those two hits. Yam is now on their last leg. Trying to play safely, trying to box Rifa out. Rifa trying to get a KO to prevent Yam from getting rush ready. But not really working out on his end. And as the timer ticks down, that's going to be it. Yam does have the rush ready, or will, and within just one or two brief movements. And is going to be switching over to the Bub alongside the Parasol. That's definitely going to help out in just lining up these attacks. But again, this is just going to be a little tricky to try to punch through that Lockjaw. And Rifa is definitely going to be aware of that as he just has to jump over that first initial hit. And he's going to be able to get a solid punish, dealing a large chunk of Yam's health in the process. Quick 1-2, a barrage of blasts from that Lockjaw. 1-2 is very possible with the Lockjaw where few arms can actually do that, as that explosion is a second bullet, which means you can technically get 3 hits off of the Lockjaw. Yam cannot take a single hit more, and Rifa does have a shield breaker rush. You can see he's just starting to close in that distance. If Yam stays in this close corner, there's basically nothing they can do, and that's going to allow Rifa to take the first game. Whoa! Whoa! It's all there! It loaded! Okay, oh! I can actually work with this. We'll set it up for the next match. Well, actually, maybe not. Because these two are just going in quickly and being constantly ready. And Yetta and Rifa are probably also going to be very ready too. Rifa going in with a Seeker right now. Unfortunately, it is the weakie of arms. Not very Does have a couple of great opportunities, can do some strong damage, but it's definitely a very situational arm. More often, better picked if you're expecting an armored character to any degree. Otherwise, you generally want to go in with the homie instead. Regardless, still very dangerous, very powerful, and when lining up those shots, you can definitely still make it really work and get some heavy damage. That rush is not going to connect. Gonna try to set up that blast. It's not going to be... Yeah, I'm going to patiently wait it out, recognizing that it just means it's got to wait a little longer to get back into the action. So far, though, that Siki is causing an immeasurable amount of trouble as it's constantly weaving and sneaking between these attacks. Plays kind of like a curve arm if your opponent isn't just focused on dodging out of the way of it. And Rifa just holding on to a massive lead. He is not going to get stunned by his own Siki. Definitely very practiced and knowledgeable on what he needs to do to make sure that he's keeping himself alive and healthy. And is just looking, I believe anything would take Yam down at this point. Where Rifa still has 75% of his health remaining. That rush would not be enough. And you can tell Yam's aware of this, holding onto it and has yet to release. That 1-2 is going to be from that blast, leading Rifa into set point advantage scoreboard, yes. Starting things off in this next round. Rifa has actually switched over to the boomerang. He's got a rush combo now already. You just gotta get that boomerang to land, and that can all be just so much more damage. Can actually confirm off of that Siki too. He's gonna blow himself up, and Yam is going to capitalize on that. Getting a hearty 255 damage and setting Yam up with a light health lead. And that stun, not going to be able to capitalize on that stun though. Rifa just going to quickly short hop out of the way. Even when you are stunned, you do have a couple of options. As long as you just invest in those choices and your opponent is not experienced in wide grabs, it's a good chance you can find your way out. Nice boomerang catch. Both players now ready once again with rush. Not sure if Rifa's gonna try to outbox Yam again in the rush exchange, considering how poorly it went last time. We'll have to see. Trying to get that pressure, trying to set himself up with a nice opportunity. Yam going to be the first to throw out that rush. Trying to bait out Rifa's rush. He's gonna wait this time though. He's fully aware. He's like, nah, this is not a good idea. 7 seconds left on the clock. Yam has the health lead and is looking to hold on to it with that blast. Rifa doesn't have any options. Yam's gonna get their first point here, and a very important one as it keeps them in this game. Rifa still just looking for that one set point to be able to take this and move on against Yetta. Yam doing everything possible to fight back against this maddening loadout. And it's starting to get some good tempo, getting a couple of nice pokes in. This pressure is just working out a lot more in favor for them. And now ready with a rush. Yam can safely not worry about Rifa's rush coming in at any point. So all Yam has to do is just focus on keeping that advantage in neutral. Rifa just trying to throw out these attacks, weaving in between these shots, but he's gonna get caught out by that Phoenix. Yam deciding to lead into that deeper lead. But now without that Dragon Arm, without that rush ready, Rifa can start getting a little more pressure going himself. But he doesn't have too much health to work with, as Yam's still getting some nice pressure. That Dragon Arm bub coming back in hot. And it's just allowing Yam to constantly and safely punch down that Siki. One final hit and Yam takes a game for themselves, preventing that bracket reset from happening. round. So I'm gonna set things up for Yetta. Add update. We could just leave it like how it is. And it looks like we're going to be going back to Temple Grounds. That is the biggest bub. Min Min capable of making hilariously sized weapons for her small stature is genuinely hilarious. This is Yam's chance to be able to take Rifa out. If they can take him down here, they will be moving on to face off against Yetta. I'm so used to Shady being in the winners finals. Yetta just kind of took that away. Yam starting off, getting a bit of light damage, but that clapback, as it wants to do, as it is usually playing out, is proving to be very troublesome. Quite the burden for Yam to fight back against. The Ice Dragon definitely a solid pick to kind of work around that, as it won't get reflected and you can get some really nice angles. But even then, it's just a shield. It's a solid defensive tool. It's a giant body that can just work around everything and allow you to punish pretty much everyone else's rush. And now Rifa holding on to a light health lead. I'm suspecting Yam's gonna want to switch that bub away. Gets that freeze, tries to get a second freeze, but the clapback just barely saving Rifa, and Yam not adjusting that shot enough to be able to get it to connect. That clapback is just slowing this match down to a crawl. Yam desperately trying to find a way in time and time again, and constantly just getting denied as that feisty little shield just quickly and consistently just smacking them down. And that's going to be the first round going to Rifa as a result. Rifa going to switch the Scully away, puts on the Phoenix, and we have two Phoenixes starting off, going into this next round, which means both of them have some nice curves. Couple of interesting counters here. That clapback's going to be pretty irrelevant in a lot of these exchanges now. Mostly a counter to that Ice Dragon, but even then, only goes so far. Rifa going to be the first to throw out his rush. Gets a nice 315 damage. Yam going to try to go in for a rush of their own, and is going to be able to connect for that last final hit, 40 damage. Keeping themselves in this game gives an opportunity to get that Dragon Arm out, which means that Yam has that advantage. A strong tool to fight back against Rifa. Interestingly, both players chose to put their curve arms on after the pillars disappeared rather than during, which is usually the opposite of what a lot of people tend to do. Though there is a lot of reason to it, as those curved arms are more likely to also get caught by the pillars, as they're harder to aim and line up in those angles. Yam ready with the rush, trying to close in that distance, set things up. That's going to be a very safe rush, but Rifa going to be able to safely dodge out of the way of it, as Yam just waited a pinch too long, and now Rifa, in the last few seconds, has that lead. Gonna get taken away though by Yam, connecting once, twice! And that clapback not able to connect. Rifa thought he had it, but Yam's gonna take that round. And he's gonna put back on that buff, hoping that that clapback is now gone. And Rifa giving that opportunity, meaning that buff might be a much more dangerous tool. Both players sticking in with that Phoenix. Definitely both making it work pretty well. So far that Bub is doing some strong work, especially without that clapback around and only a Scully to face off against. It's a lot easier for that glove to be able to connect properly. Ends up only getting 70 damage off of that final chip hit. But Yam is holding on to a solid health lead. Rifa trying to bait in an opportunity to get a rush up punish or just some grab damage. But Yam patiently waiting things out, making sure to not get too caught up in anything. Rush is finally going to connect, but Yam is quickly charging up another rush to throw out. And if that rush connects, Yam definitely will be able to take Rifa out. So it's a game of patience, just making sure that this opportunity can get lined up. Rifa just making sure he does not give Yam that opportunity, poking Yam down quite a few times now from these setups. And here comes the rush. It's going to connect! And that final touch. Yam taking Rifa down 2-1. And is going to move on to face off against Yetta. Alright, let's see. We can do this. Yam's already here. Yetta is not. And now we're going to do a bit of... see if I can get things set up quickly. Here, we're just gonna stick with this one so I can kind of... Small players. Add. Yam. Yam. Update. Player left. Browse. We go in here, here. Wait, no, that's supposed to be player one. No, no! Go back. No, we want player one. There. That one's set. Yada is ready. We are in Temple Grounds. Can do player right. While we're on this. Oh, up, there. We'll fix it more in just a moment. It looks like Yetta is going in with Bite and Bark for this match. This round, I was not expecting this. Yetta unleashing the Yoshi Bowser, also going in with a bit of style as that Thunderbird matching Bite and Bark's attire, making for one fashionable robot. Both players holding about even. Neither really giving each the other too much room to breathe, too much opportunity to work with. Yam does have that rush ready. And with the Dragon Arm, definitely an easier time to get it to line up. This might be the chance, as Yetta is bouncing off that Bite and Bark, but not going to be able to find that opportunity. And now Yam ready, or Yetta ready with the rush. Going to end up missing out on that win confirm, just could not line up the shots right. Yam ready with their rush, going to try to throw it out, but a quick punish from that Thunderbird, going to be able to knock them out of the air. Keeps this match very well grounded and very balanced. Neither one holding too much of an advantage. This Bite and Bark just kind of slipping by, getting some nice pokes here and there. Yeah, I'm just catching a lot of these attacks with that Ice Dragon, that Phoenix, just sniping a lot of damage of their own. And these two have been neck and neck on health until these last few moments where that grab is going to put Yetta in the lead. A 1-2. And that's going to be it. Wait. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to throw out that rush. The Sparky, a little difficult. Gloves are actually really hard to line up those shots on, especially if your opponent's on the move. And we're going to see that as Yetta's safely dodging out of the way of Yam's rush, and then just quickly punishes with that Thunderbird and Parasol. While that Thunderbird hasn't gotten started a stun yet, it's been doing some pretty solid work, uncharged, just sneaking and getting a lot of quick and solid, very rewarding pokes in. Yam, a little bit behind, definitely has a lot of work to do, but a Sparky stun grab combo is going to quickly give Yam all that ground that they have been struggling with, failed to be up to before, and now they're quickly in the lead. Rush ready, Yam looking for that point, that opportunity to try to get this shot to line up, but Yetta just making sure. Bite and Bark is an incredibly mobile character for how slow a lot of people feel they are. It can be really hard to catch this character, and with movement like that, you just are having a hard time. This is definitely some of the higher tier Bite and Bark movement and play that one might see in any day. And with this, Yetta going to likely be able to take this round. That stun going to be cancelled out by Bark. And Yetta going to be able to take the first round. Wait, we're just sticking with this because I'm slowly moving things over. Update. We don't need to do that actually. So what we'll do next is Fighter 1. We're gonna add this little picture. Now you're like, oh ho, what's this? It's a sprain man. Oh, watch. We just get that there. DNA lab. And we're gonna add in a Fighter 2. Which is also going to be the same Spring Man. Is that the same size? No, but I'll adjust it quickly. Okay, so we got... Okay, so we've got that. Watch now. So, Little Pop and Twintel. So we just need to... And Twintel. Bam! Check it! Look at that! I'll fix it up so it looks better in a minute. Actually, it's not really relevant in ARMS because you can kinda... Yeah, it's not relevant in ARMS because we've already got the icons. Huh. Oh well. I mean, that means that I can safely kind of... Yeah, it's not really relevant in ARMS. Because this kind of already works. Oh well. Yeta holding on to a solid lead here. This pressure, the toaster and cooler just kind of outdoing Yam's loadout. That Tri-Blast constantly getting boxed down. The Sparky also, especially with Yeta just having arms that retract so much more quickly and hold that weight advantage. Yeta going to get one more grab, takes the first round, putting themselves in advantage. Yeah, I'm gonna actually switch things up. Put on the Scorpion, nibbles himself, reveals himself to the battlefield, and is gonna start off with a quick 1-2, getting a first poison stack. But it's going to be Yeta going to be able to get the combo off. Lands that grab and continues keeping this incredibly even. A rush just coming right off of that uncharged hit, allowing Yeta just to keep this lead rolling. This pressure. Yeah, struggling to keep up. Had a nice start, but now that Yeta just started to get that momentum, this is so much more difficult of a match. Another grab on that shield. Yam at critical health cannot take a single hit more. You know Yam is just looking to make sure they stay as safe as possible. But the challenge there is the fact that that's 50% health that Yam has to catch up on and is lacking a rush to be able to get that momentum going. And instead it's going to be Yeta getting that final hit in and sets advantage 2-0. Yeah, we don't really need those because the fighters just kind of... Arms already has that kind of nicely set up. So we don't need to worry about that. I'll look into that again in a bit, but score Buster. I think, yeah. Oh, no. That is not the right one. I should not be doing this stuff. There it is. Deering, but like when it's all set up and ready, it's gonna be just a little bit better on my end. Yam's final stand. If they cannot take Yeta down here, they will be knocked into the lower brackets and will be forced to face off against some other players to potentially make their way into facing off once again against Yeta. So far holding up a little well, holding on to that light health lead. Even though Yeta is getting those buff charge-ups, Yam is just making sure to play safely, to weave between these attacks, make sure they're not getting too caught out by anything, and just getting safe pokes and punishes here and there. Another well-aimed roaster. Yam holding on to that lead. That Chilla going to put things in a sticky place, but a nice rush is going to allow Yam to break right out of there and gets a first round. Yeta now ready with the rush, going in with the full buff brass combo setup. So not really working out too well in their favor though, as Yeta's just steady, patient play is just slowly overwhelming this brass. Yeta struggling to keep up with his tempo. That rush is going to help out though, A nice 290 damage asserts Yetta as the lead in this round. But Yam does have a rush coming up pretty quickly. Yam definitely feeling a lot of fear here. Chose to just go out for the shield and is not going to get punished out by that. The lockjaw coming in clutch and those multiple bullets, that just wide coverage, is just going to allow Yam to safely connect and take the health lead back. Another charge hit with the roaster and one more! And Yetta going to be able to take their first points. Oh yeah, that's also connected. They share the same thing, so I don't have to worry about that. Nice! I thought I was gonna have to update on the other one too, but they just kind of... Yam disappeared. Look! Look! Did you see that? Did you see how quick and easy it was for me to swap? I have a swap button now! I have a swap button! Wait, it didn't swap. Hold on. We hit... Yeah, it should update. Oh, it doesn't update there, but it's updated there. It's... This one needs to be... changed. Oh, no. That, and it says player 2, which means Yam is there now. Player 1. Look at that! Watch, watch. I'll just hit swap. They swapped. Swap. They've all swapped. I'm excited about overlay stuff when we have an extremely hype match going on right now. Yam has taken a game off of Yetta and is going to switch over to Ribbon Girl. Thunderbird Chilla, two very solid tools. Definitely on Ribbon Girl. While you can't hold that charge for long, if you make any charge hit on Ribbon, it's just so rewarding. And with how difficult it is to catch Ribbon, it basically just means that Ribbon's just looking to play the long game and is just looking to try to find those brief 1 or 2 moments. The rush comes out. Yeah, I'm going to be able to safely dodge out of the way. Just barely behind against Yetta, but this rush could easily put things in their favor, especially if they deflect that megawatt. Another freeze! An ice chain begins, and Yam gets some light damage in there. A stun, though, from that megawatt is going to allow Yetta to keep that health lead. And the rush comes out. It's not going to connect as the Biffler just barely dodges by and snipes out Yam, allowing Yetta to hold onto this health lead and keep this pressure going. Yam trying to be as patient as possible, find their way in, but this pressure is just getting to be a little much here. Why did I do that? And Yetta going to be able to take the first round. Yam switching over to the Birdchuck. That might struggle a little bit more against that megawatt. But Ribbon Girl is also one of the best characters to work with that ice element, and it's going to be a very solid wide coverage rush if and when that comes out. Yetta definitely ready for it though, as they've just chosen to hold onto this rush, have chosen not to utilize it, very likely for the sole purpose of beating down this rush. And it's going to just keep that train rolling. Yeta now at a 50% health lead, as those two very straightforward arms just gonna have no issue for Yeta to punish. Yeta just continuing to keep this pressure, going in for these 1-2s. This Ribbon Girl just not keeping up, as Yam just not able to dodge out of the way of that Megawatt fast enough to be able to get any kind of punish. This rush is going to be able to swing in though. 295 damage. That is a little bit of momentum for Yeta to be able to work with, but a stun grab is going to quickly take away that entire lead that Yam had set up from that rush. And Yeta's going to close things out with a 3-1. Yeah, I don't need to worry about characters for arms, usually. In certain setups, I can definitely see myself needing it, but overall, it's not that important. We'll put Rifa here. Oh, we can add in... We can do this, and this is watch. Look at it. Look at it. Bam! All at once. So that means I can just close this other one. Stream Stack is no longer relevant to me. I've evolved. I've grown. Wait, Temple Grounds, yeah. And it looks like we are going to be getting our Shady Rifa matchup regardless. As these two are going to be facing off in the lower semi-finals. I can actually fix that up too if I want. No, I can actually do those. Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it for the NA bracket. I'll stop playing around for a little bit. Starting off this match, Rifa getting some nice pressure, getting that Seiki to work for him this time. It's working out a little more in favor for him than it was against Yam, but this could easily be just very similar to what was happening last time, where Yam just started to figure it out midway through the set, and then figured out how to properly counter it. Where so far, Shady just not ready for this, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a quick solution to this puzzle coming pretty soon. That rush definitely going to help out. 310 damage. Rifa does have that toaster ready though. He's going to try to go for that grab, but the pillar safely protecting Shady out. But just the slightest delay of that perfect shield attempt, and it's going to leave them open to Rifa getting a grab and takes the first round. Like, I am genuinely blessed with how much this game does for you. Actually, a lot of games kind of do that. They have all that information just nicely set up. Rifa holding on to it. Well, actually, Shady holding on to a light lead here. The switch to the boomerang, maybe not working out as well as the toaster right now. That's going to be a safe block, though. Rifa taking a bit of shield arm damage, but that's nothing too drastic, and he's just going to lose it anyways because of that disarm. Rifa trying to line something up, but these two arms just a little too awkward when working together. And it's allowing Shady to get just these right punishes, these right plays. Rifa just not able to keep up with this. And that's going to bring Rifa to switch back to the toaster. But now Shady's definitely feeling a lot warmer, a lot toastier on their own. And he's going to be able to safely block off that rush. Holding on to a light lead. Rifa just slowly getting backed into the corner, trying to find his way out. But that cracker, that pressure is just allowing Shady to get all that damage that they want. And things have kind of turned the tides here. Rifa not in a very good shape right now, as Shady's just looking for a little bit more damage to get that KO. Rifa ends up blowing himself up. There's a potential that Shady could just grab KO him. But he's going to be able to get his rush to connect in first. Gets 370 damage. And now brought himself back to that health lead. Both players, though, in very critical condition and cannot take much more. Shady, especially with a final hit being enough. As Rifa takes the first game. It looks like we're going to be going to sparring ring for the next round. We can go and just do that. Oh. Temple. Okay. There. If I close that and then reopen it. Oh god, I have to redo all that stuff now. And it looks like Rifa's gonna switch over to his Popper Lockjaw Ninjara. Shady going to be going over to Ribbon Girl. Both of them going in with the Poppers. Toaster on Shady's end, though. So far, Rifa starting with that lead. It's not going to be a successful rush, though. Shady being able to find that safe opportunity to get that shield out. And now Shady trying to close in that distance, set up a rush of their own. Rifa just making sure he stays on the move, does not get caught out by this, but the rush going to be able to connect 245 damage. Still not enough though, as Rifa holding on to a mildly light lead. Well, not too light, as 25% is still a decent amount to work against. Especially if Rifa's going to continue to get pokes in with the Popper. And now just looking for that final hit. That Lockjaw almost catching, but Shady with that perfect timing on the shield. Going to be able to keep themselves alive and fighting. But trying to close in that distance. One hit, one more. We've got one final pillar left. But Rifa's going to take the first round. Shady switching over to the Slap-a-Mander, trying to get around that lockjaw a little bit more. Rifa also going to put away his popper instead, choosing to utilize that chakram. A much more consistent and steady stream for that rush. It's going to be really difficult for Shady to be able to dodge. And it's going to start off with 295 damage, giving Rifa just that much more of a rush lead, or health lead. The rush is going to be able to connect on Shady's end though, and that just sets things in Shady's favor, especially with that quick chain of hits, knocking Rifa back and trying to keep him locked back into that corner. Chakram having a little bit of difficulty getting it to connect in a lot of cases, just kind of slowly swinging out, flying around. That light size is really not helping Rifa out, as it's basically making it impossible for it to connect in anything beyond these rushes. That said, a rush is a rush, and Chakram and Ramram have two of the best rushes in this game. If that's all you're going to go in for with those arms, I still be hard-pressed to argue with you. Shady trying to just find an opportunity to hold onto this rush to have an advantage going into this next round, but feels like they have to throw it out, bring the score to 1-1, and are able to successfully connect, preventing Rifa from just taking it 2-0 and setting himself up to move into the lower finals. Rifa going to switch back to the popper here and is going to utilize it effectively to set himself up with a lead. Shady not going to get caught out by that rush, just chooses to patiently shield things out. Rifa thought he got a good read on that timing, but Shady just a little too quick for that popper to come out. Regardless, Rifa's still holding a near perfect right now. Has yet to be hit and is just looking to keep this steady pressure going. That first toaster though, going to connect. Give Shady a little bit more of an opportunity to start trying to swing things in their favor, but the popper is just constantly catching them out. That wide barrage, while it can be more easily boxed down by a toaster and Slap-a-Mander, still not the easiest thing to do. Another charged toaster connecting. Shady taking more and more of Rifa's health, but still just so far behind. Has to get just a couple more charged hits in to really get that control on this field. Rifa is just slowly messing with them, putting in some pressure. That rush is not going to be able to connect. Keeps Shady alive, because that would have definitely taken them out. But now that rush might not even be enough on Shady's part, as Shady's at critical and Rifa is above 50. A charged hit and that rush should potentially set things up in their favor, but Rifa could just straight up dodge the rush, and that is going to be it. Rifa will be moving on to have his rematch against Yam. I'm gonna go to the washroom. I'll be right back. I didn't mute the mic. Fortunately, that didn't do anything. I hope. Regardless, we are going to get going to DNA Lab for our next match. Rifa will be facing off against Yam in the lower finals. Both players gonna dive right in, and immediately Riva gonna get sniped down by that Ice Dragon. Yeah, I'm starting off strong with that light health lead. And a Dragon Arm quick and ready. Riva gonna be able to quickly knock it out though. Some light pressure. The Popper just really doing some solid damage here. An excellent arm that just, like, in a lot of cases, just works so well against so many tools. It oftentimes, like, counters out more things than I would genuinely like to think it could. One of my favorite things about the Popper too, it's one of the best arms for win confirms, being able just to win confirm into itself, which most other arms are not capable of doing. That rush going to come out on Yam's end. Rifa going to safely dodge out of the way, and he's going to be able to connect with 340 damage, just missing out on one final hit to take Yam out. And now Rifa just looking for that final hit. Patiently waiting to get it to connect. And one of the poppers just went flying into the air. Rifa beautifully covering the high ground and the low ground. And Yam, unable to get out of the way, is going to get punished out. Gives Rifa the first round. And quick disarm. Rifa going to be able to keep this pressure going. That Chakra means that if Rifa has rush, he's probably just going to be able to beat out whatever Yam throws out. If he feels the need to. Like, you do not mess with the Chakram Rush. No matter what your loadout is, you don't mess with one. It usually does not work out well. Clapback being one of the few cases where it can be a hit or miss. He's just going to see this opportunity, decides to go in for the 350 rush. And is now just looking for a little bit more damage to be able to take Yam out. About 2 to 3 more should be all he needs. Yam still has to go through 50% of Rifa's health. And doesn't have much to work with of their own. As that Chakram going to take this first game and put it on Rifa's end. Yeah, the character icon not really needed for this. Because, like, the players and their icons are always there. Like, you always see them, except when they're choosing here. Like, they're always very clearly visible. Smash Brothers also does that pretty well. I think for games like Guilty Gear, it's definitely going to be more important. Like, we even get the colors. Like, it's just covered now. It's not... I'm not sure if it was ever relevant. Anyways. Rifa going to be going in, switching over to a different Ninjara. He's got that Seiki back on. Yam has demonstrated that they are capable of working around that thing, but Rifa's also got a Fun Chuck lined up with it. That's going to allow for a lot more combos, a lot stronger setups. It's also going to allow him to box more effectively against Yam's approach. And so far, we're seeing a lot of success here as Rifa holding on to a light start and lead. That rush coming out just a little too slow. Yam going to be able to safely block it out. That Fun Chuck, just one of the slowest rushes in this game, takes ages for it to start approaching the opponent. But it just has so much coverage. So it's all about finding when your opponent is left open and then just gunning it. As if your opponent's arm's still retracting, they won't be able to shield it and they're just gonna get caught out. Rifa starting to face a lot of pressure here. That Dragon Arm ready, that Parasol, just a solid defensive tool. But that leap into the air is gonna allow Rifa just to slip right underneath those arms. And the Seiki gonna be able to poke Yam down. Allows Rifa to keep this pressure going and take that Dragon Arm away. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to bring this back with such a massive health deficit. Just has a little too much work to go through. And it's likely that Rifa's going to be able to take this. Switching over from the Siki, and he's going to put on a much more steady toaster. This is going to be another rough round for Yam, as that's probably just going to be able to effectively box out a lot of Yam's attacks. Rifa has a solid defense, and arguably a better offense in this case, as his rush is just going to be that much more steady. Both kind of balancing out each other out when you really think about it, though, as the Fun Shock protects against the Phoenix, where the Parasol protects against the Toaster. So a lot of damage could very likely be coming from these rush exchanges, as these two will just constantly be blocking each other down with each other's attacks. So far, Yam holding on to the lead, getting a couple of nice pokes in with that Phoenix, just getting some better shots. But Rifa going to be able to throw his rush, connects for a nice 250, just barely bringing himself into a health lead, but it's going to quickly get taken away. He takes an uncharged hit from that Parasol and lands a grab to quickly take things back under his control, making sure that Dragon Arm does not connect. These two arms just lacking that flurry damage, allowing Rifa to safely dodge out of the way, making sure that he's only taking minimal damage. And Rifa's gonna get one more KO in there, and is one game away from being able to move on to the grand finals to face off against Yetta. Yeah. Look, we can even go to the negative if we wanted to. But it won't glitch. This one won't glitch. I won't accidentally set things up. So the score just keeps scrolling down. And heading into what might be the final match for Yam, we're going to be heading to Via Dulce. Definitely a very strong stage if you can get that Dragon Arm set up. A good counter to Ninjara in a lot of cases. And Yam is going to quickly set things up. Puts the Scully onto the Dragon Arm. But that's going to be boxed down by both of these arms through a Torture. And that Toaster just going to have an easy time punching it out. Which means that Yam's really going to have to lean into that lockjaw to make things work. So far, though, it's not working out too well for them. It's that Ninjara movement, that speed, just weaving between all these attacks. And it's allowed Rifa to start off with a 50% health lead. Rifa now ready with the rush. He's just going to throw it right out there. Make sure that he continues to hold this control, holds this health lead, and is now just looking for one final hit to set himself with set point. Rifa going to switch over to the Siki, going in with the Torture. So this is just weird angles coming in for Yam to face off against. Rifa has two really difficult arms to land a rush with, but when you connect them, that's just going to be so much damage. The Dragon Arm Lockjaw definitely helping out this case though, as Yam has just started off taking that massive health lead, getting some really nice pokes in there. And Rifa just struggling to keep up with this pressure. Lockjaw's just a really solid arm in cases like this, without that wide pathway to really walk around. Lockjaw excels as it's just huge body. Just limits the opponent's options, makes it so they have so much less room to breathe. And that's really what Yam is trying to capitalize on here. Getting these quick pokes, this light damage here and there. And he's just continuing to take control of this round. He's just looking for a little bit more to be able to take Rifa out. Rifa patiently trying to find his way in, just getting these pokes here and there, not too worried about playing too riskily, as he just really needs 1 or 2 good confirms to be able to take this round into his hands. That said, we only have 15 seconds left on the clock. Timer is ticking down fast. And a quick exchange, one way or another, is definitely going to be enough. Yem crawling into that corner and does not choose to go in for anything. Just chooses not to shield, too determined for the counter. It's going to allow Rifa to time them out. And take Yem down 3-0. And that means Rifa will be moving on to face off against Yetta in the grand finals. Oh, I was wondering about that. Ooh. Check it. There's a little checkbox button for the player who's loser in the grand finals. Is it only there? It is. So we could just look at it. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Bam! Look at it, it's beautiful. Oh, I love this thing. And then I also added an extra tag for bracket reset. Just call that its own unique round. And then we don't need like the L's on that. Alright, so heading into grand finals, both players picking a couple of custom picks here, testing things out, exploring what they're really capable of with characters beyond their depth. Yetta going in with Twin Tail, sticking with a character that's been getting some pretty solid results here. Rifa going in with the clapback Scully, another loadout that he's made pretty successful in these bouts so far. Yetta starting off pretty strong though, holding on to nearly a 50% health lead. But Rifa going to be able to get his first hit in and prevents that 50% health lead from really happening. Both players now ready with Rush. Yetta definitely very aware of the fact that that clapback can just cause an immeasurable amount of trouble. Choosing not to utilize it yet and just play patiently, continue deepening this health lead just by general solid neutral play and utilizing Twin Tail's movement and outweighing that Scully. Desperately trying to close the gap, trying to find his way in, but Yetta just safely pressuring, safely playing around all these tricks, and is just keeping Rifa at bay, making sure that he does not have that easy time he is looking for. With only 10 seconds left on the clock, it's very unlikely that Rifa's going to be able to take this, as he would need that full rush, plus probably a grab to be able to do this, and just there's not enough time for that to happen. Yetta going to be able to take the first round. Yetta going to try to start off with that sneaky grab, but clapback's being a pretty solid tool at combating that. Rifa's going to be able to fight back, and sets himself up with an opportunity to get that slightest of health leads. A nice deflect on that clapback. Yetta gonna try to go in for the rush from there, but just ends up making it not connect. Yetta definitely has to be careful now, and you can see that with Yetta's patient plays, just really trying to utilize that actress aura as much as possible, slowing things down to a grind, constantly and quickly just charging up that rush. Yeta holding on to a very light lead, and is going to be able to keep that lead off of all this chip hits. Now ready with another rush, and with Rifa lacking his, will likely be wanting to close in that distance and just cement that health lead. Another nice toaster connection, slowing down Rifa's rush game, making it that much easier for Yeta to continue to hold this lead. He's just looking to continue to keep this tempo, this song going their way. With only 20 seconds left on the clock, Rifa has to get some solid work to really turn these tides. And just with every trade, every exchange, they're not trades, he's just getting hit. Couple of quick hits, that's gonna start getting a little tempo for Rifa. He needs his rush, he needs to get some incredible damage, but there's not gonna be the time, and Yeta going to take the first round. Oh, wrong button. Oh, hey, there's a message all the way up there. What's this? Alright. It looks like Yeta is going to switch over. We've got ourselves a biting, barking boy stepping back into the ring. We're going in with the orange ninjara. The Chucky Jara. And it might actually be a pretty solid pick here, as that Lockjaw is a very strong competitor against Bite and Bark, as it just stops Bark's movement, covers a lot of ground, and it's great against Deflects, something that a lot of Bite and Barks really lean into. Yeta also starting off with a very straightforward loadout, meaning that Lockjaw is definitely going to have a couple of good opportunities to shine, as it just eats through these attacks. Both players holding about even, quickly charging up their own rushes, getting ready to strike at each other. A nice charged Lockjaw is just going to continue to help Rifa out, keep himself ever so slightly in control. He has to be careful though. Yeta could quickly turn the tides. That loadout just has a high amount of damage output, and a very solid rush confirm. Another couple of quick hits. Rifa slowly bringing himself deeper and deeper into the lead. He wants to be able to take this round. He needs to take this game. He's got to start bringing things back, as Yeta has that stock advantage. And what that basically means is Rifa might have his win streak cut short yet again. And you know Rifa, he does not want to lose that win streak. This is his turf. He's not going to give it up lightly. Yeta gonna stick with their loadout. Rifa gonna stick out with his. Both players ready with rush. We didn't see a single rush thrown out that previous round. I'm wondering if we're gonna see one here. Both players just, well, Yeta not wanting to throw out their rush, just recognizing that Rifa could easily just wall it out. And especially with it getting cancelled out there, that is just so much more rough of a place. Rifa now just looking for a safe opportunity to get things set up. If he can get that popper to properly connect like that, that's not going to be it though, as the quick trade is going to allow Yeta to stall Rifa just long enough to make sure that rush confirm does not happen. Bark has been saving Yeta time and time again, just allowing Yeta to get favorable trades, as Bark will just eat the shot, eat the hit. He likes that damage, it tastes good. It's like his kibbles and bits. Yeta holding onto a sizable lead here, and is just wanting to try to play things safely, not get caught up by anything. This Parasol Roaster just working out really well in this exchange. But if Yeta gets caught by a win confirm, that could potentially be the KO, but Rifa's just going to choose to gun it out here. 10 seconds left on the clock. He has to get more damage in. But Yeta is just looking to tempo things out and now has rush advantage. Looking for another win to be able to bring the score to 2-0 and set in motion what could potentially be match set final game that Yeta would have to win. Rifa quickly trying to charge up his rush, getting himself nice and ready. Yeta has still trying to find an opportunity to throw theirs out. Just, again, these two focusing a lot more on neutral play and general exchanges, then throwing out those rushes, just recognizing the danger that can come in for being the first to throw out the rush, with the other evading, just blocking it out and having their rush for pressure. There's a lot of advantages and opportunities that one can have just by having the rush available as an option. Rifa gonna choose to throw his out first though, and it's gonna connect for 375. Rifa cementing himself a health lead. Yeta ready? Yeta's rush could easily balance things out though, and out comes the rush. Rifa gonna try to dodge, and he's gonna be able to successfully evade and punish. Now he's got a massive health lead, and with only 30 seconds left on the clock, this is not gonna work out for Yeta. Rifa gonna be able to take the round and brings the score to 1-1. As soon as he figured out what he wanted to do, where he wanted to line up those shots, just got that good damage in, got that good KO going. Wait, maybe I could add in the images here. Yeah, I could do that. Ooh, Master Mummy coming into the ring! We've got a Mumford stepping into the grand finals. Yeta looking to utilize Mumford's massive weight and girth to be able to power through Rifa. That high girth, the safe and just responsible use of those buffs is definitely going to make this an extremely difficult matchup for Rifa. Even if he gets that lockjaw to get some chip damage in, most of the exchanges will just work out so much more in favor of Yeta. We are seeing that right now as Rifa just cannot keep up, and he's slowly losing health as the match further and further progresses. Rifa starting to get some tempo though, starting to see where he wants to be, where he wants to line these shots up, and how to counteract Yeta's boxing style. And he's getting some really nice punishes in there, and is now in a very light health lead. Dodges the rush. It's so hard to catch a Ninjara with glove rush. They will just usually slip right out of the way, leave themselves nice, free, and open to punishing your attack. Yeta gonna be able to leap right out of the way as well. Gets a punish of their own. Rifa a little too eager to go in for his to get it to connect. Not too concerned though, as he does still have a moderate health lead. And that rush not going to be able to connect again. Only a 30 damage hit. Yeta is nice and close, but that means that popper can very easily sneak in there. And that's going to allow Rifa to take the first round. This counter pick attempt maybe not going to work out for Yeta the way they were hoping. Another just chain of dodges, a chain of weaves. Rifa trying to slip between the cracks. He's not going to be able to make it work out. Yes, Yeta starting off with a strong health lead this time, which means that tempo, that defensive play is going to work out. That 360 rush though, Rifa now in the health lead, and a barrage of chain hits. Yeta quickly knocked into a health disadvantage. Gonna try to get this pressure to go back in, set things up for a nice rush. Try to go in for the grab. Rifa just making sure he is out of everything though. And out comes the rush. It's going to be able to connect this time. just needs that one final hit, but has to be careful. Rifa only looking for a couple of hits himself, and he's got to rush to safely block things out. Mumford not fast enough to slip out of the way. That's going to mean Rifa takes the second game and just sets himself up for the bracket reset. Yeah, they're kind of playing a lot similarly to how Rifa does, in the fact that, well, both of them are playing around with characters that aren't their mains, in some retrospect. Rifa going in with very customized Ninjara, Yetta going in with just a wide variety of characters. It's almost like Yetta is hitting the random button right now. And we're going to see Yetta stepping in, basically a default Spring Man, just switching over that toaster for a roaster. Rifa going to go Rajara. That Seiki definitely going to be a little more effective against that deflect. And if he's getting that timing right, can definitely start off strong with a grab confirm off of that Seiki Blast. Tri-Bolt definitely can be a strong counter for Ninjara's movement. But if Rifa's just boxing everything down, keeping the steady flow of combat, these punches, those Tri-Bolt bolts are going to have a much harder time sneaking in and catching Rifa. Yetta quickly building up a rush. We'll have one in just a moment, but Rifa's already got his own ready, and he's going to quickly throw it out. That rush will not work out for Yetta, as just not only were they still retracting, but Rifa had the weight advantage by and far, and because of that, he's going to be able to just blow things in and takes the first round. Yetta going to recognize this, just goes double roaster here. The good old Resolve classic, loves boxing down Spring Man, a wall of pain. So far, hasn't actually connected anything. Rifa's going to be the first one to connect again. Getting that Seiki to sneaky in, get a couple of light hits. Yetta does find an opportunity to get that roaster damage in, but both still just not really finding an opportunity between each other, just trying to find those moments to charge up, get a couple of quick hits in there when and where they can, but a lot of it is just light boxing. The rush is going to be able to connect. Yetta sets up a light health lead and now has to be cautious, as Rifa's likely hungering for a rush of his own. These roasters, though, giving Yetta what they want here, and just sets up a massive health lead and a safe shield for that rush. Another catch with the roaster, and Yetta now with that rush lead and an opportunity to potentially bring things to a final game. Rifa just looking to be able to take this last round to get that bracket reset to happen, but Roaster so far proving to be quite a challenge, as Yetta just constantly boxing these attacks down. Spoke too soon though, because now Rifa's starting to get a bit of a health lead. He's getting these nice reads in there, and this round is quickly just turned from Yetta's major advantage to Rifa's major advantage. Yetta likely wanting to hold on to that rush for some nice pressure opportunity. Here it comes, and it's going to be able to connect flawlessly. Now expecting Rifa to want to try to come in for a rush of his own. He's going to close in that distance, a safe block. But because of that shield parry, that dodge attempt actually leaves himself more vulnerable to that Coolerang. Not going to absorb those shield hits. And that means that Rifa just gets that full damage and is now just looking for one final hit to reset the bracket. And with that, we bring ourselves to the reset. Both players now having to do another best of 5. We see a lot of these in the EU Scrapstar. It's a popular thing. They like y'all like your resets, don't ya? This Ninjara just all these little tricks, all these different plays and ploys, really giving Yeta a run for their money, and yet neither player still wanting to go to their primary setup. Yeta gonna go in with the Twin Tail. Definitely one of their stronger characters though. Rifa gonna want to stick to that Spring Man. Starting things off, Yeta is holding on to a light lead. The pressure and tempo that this Toaster and Parasol complementing each other, just allowing Yeta to safely punch down so many of these attacks and just outrun Rifa in the battlefield. Both players now ready with Rush. Yeta just continue to hold this tempo. Couple of these hits just causing some decent damage, some strong knockback. Rifa getting a bit of tempo here, almost gets the grab on Wake Up. Yeta just starting to lose a lot of control all of a sudden as Rifa's finding these little windows, these opportunities where he wants to get this pressure, where Yeta is leaving themselves vulnerable from the Parasol shots. And that's going to be a rush, a very safe first round take. Rifa not even going to risk potentially losing it out by not going for that opportunity. You get like one of those sometimes. You want to make the right choice when that opportunity comes up. Now that Rifa took it, what he likely feels was a disadvantaged state, he's going to switch over to the Cool Rain, looking to have something that works a little bit more favorably in this matchup. These arms just going to have a bit more options for him to be able to slip between Yeta's attacks. Yeta starting off strong again though, quickly knocking Rifa down to a bit above 50% health. Where Rifa's only had that one successful attack connect so far. That said, Charged Rush is still a decent amount of damage, 130. And any help there can just make a big difference, especially when you can line it up with 265 on a rush. Yeta ready with a rush of their own, gonna quickly throw it out, and ends up getting punished for it. While Rifa does get knocked down, that 110 damage from the Cool Rain, 100, is just gonna allow Rifa to get a little bit more out of that exchange. And again, Yeta, now slightly behind, has to try to climb things back up. But this load up definitely going to allow them to, as they just have to keep this tempo, get this timing rolling. And this final rush exchange could very likely determine these results. Yeta ready with a rush as well, both of them just holding out. Rifa, if he just goes for chip damage, that would be enough. And now Yeta has to be able... Nope! There's no options for Yeta as Rifa waits until the perfect time. I need to see what the time exactly is. But Rifa, because of that timing, is going to be able to force out Yeta and gets a very solid first game. Just making sure that you just throw the rush out, you have that slight disadvantage. Sometimes the opponent, the person whose advantage is just like, I just need to throw out the rush so my opponent doesn't have the chance for them to throw out the rush. Because if you don't, then that happens. And Yeta is done with games here, putting on their tried and true Ribbon Girl. This might be where the battle truly begins. As Yeta slips on that Popper and Toaster. Rifa gonna go in with the Lockjaw Popper. It's not gonna start out very strong for him, as an uncharged hit into grab just allows Yeta to start off with the 250 damage lead. Popper's a great counter for Ribbon Girl. It's also a great counter for Ninjara, which means that a lot of this is just going to be based off of the light exchanges, the reads that these two can have, and how their secondary arm is going to be able to complement it in such a way that they can get these strong hits. As both just kind of getting these solid reads and damage here and there. A lot of this work coming in from the popper. And a nice punish on Yetta's end. Safely baiting out Rifa's rush and then just weaving right out of the way. That's a hearty amount of damage and is going to be moving on to this, taking the first round with a large pool of health still at their disposal. Rifa switching over to the Chakram, another strong counter to Ribbon Girl. It's going to be a little less effective at boxing, but the coverage it provides basically means that if Rifa has rush ready, Yetta kind of can't jump. Yetta though, first one ready with rush, looking to try to get that to connect, but Rifa going to be able to dodge out of the way, and just as I said, Yetta in the air, Rifa throws out the Chakram rush, and he's going to be able to just deal an outbox Yetta's rush and gets all the damage he's looking for. Both players going back and forth, trading, trying to find a way, an opportunity to get some damage in. Yetta slightly behind, but does have the rush advantage right now and is going to choose to go for it. Rifa going to be able to safely dodge out of the way, and it chooses to not take a single chip of damage, keeping himself that much in the lead. Now Yetta has to be careful as this rush is closing in the distance, and that rule applies as Yetta stays in the air and gets caught down. Rifa now wait, no, we're not done yet. I got eager. I didn't read the scores. Rifa brings the score to 1-1. And is now just one round away from being able to take a second game and set himself up with a monumental advantage. This rush is definitely going to help Yetta out. This one round going much more in their favor, that tempo just swinging so much more alongside them as Rifa below 25% health before Yetta is even hit once. Rifa still slowly trying to build up his rush. Has been caught quite a few times, almost gets caught by the grab, but he's going to be able to find that punish, get a solid evade, and he's going to be able to throw out a 330 rush, and has immediately turned this back to being incredibly close. Yetta just looking for a final hit. Rifa, I think, also is just looking for that last hit. A charged strike would be enough, or the uncharged tap from Yetta is going to be able to bring the score to 1-1. Yetta is not going to go down without a fight. Will choose not to give Rifa a second game. Both players incredibly close. They were both incredibly close on health that round. I have no idea what could have changed. Like, things are just going so fast. They are just sizzling by. And I cannot keep up with this stuff. And it looks like we are going to be going to Via Dolce. Yetta gonna switch over to Twin Tail, looking to try to cement a health lead or a score lead. Utilizing a very strong character, especially when there's that corner pressure going on. She's got that medium girth, some nice coverage, some nice movement. All Yetta wants is to get that first hit. If Yetta can get that lead, get that control, then this is just going to be a very difficult matchup for Rifa. But it's going to be Rifa getting the first hit in, and that means that Yetta has to continue to play at a mid-pace a little more aggressively just to make sure that they're trying to get these reads, these hits in. That just means more opportunities for Rifa to get these punishes and get this damage. And he's going to set himself up with a lead and the first to ready with rush. But just keeping a steady 1-2 chain of attacks. This is definitely going to be a lot harder of a stage for Rifa to dodge out of the way of this rush. But the question is Yetta going to be able to set things up for this rush to properly connect? That lockjaw could just wall out these attacks if Rifa finds a nice opportunity. Yetta constantly getting a lot of light hits, but generally whenever those hits are connecting, Rifa's also getting hits of his own, plus a few more that he's just getting beyond these trades, which is just slowly cementing a lead further and further in Rifa's favor. This twin tail really not working out. Rifa now just looking to get one charged hit would be enough. 2 popper hits would definitely also work out. Yet it's going to choose to go in for the rush. Doesn't get the full hit, but that does set things up. Kind of forces Rifa to need to throw that rush out. He's going to be able to line things up, though, as Yetta tries to go for the punish, but ends up missing, as the lockjaw blasts them out of the sky. Diving into our next round. Yetta switching back to that parasol. Definitely going to be a little bit more effective against the popper, but this just makes it so much easier for the lockjaw to wall out these shots. We're seeing a lot of that right now, as Rifa just starting off incredibly strong with a moderate health lead and has a nice rush to boot that he could just see a nice opportunity to slip in, and it probably would just cement this round in Rifa's favor. Rush comes out, it's going to be able to connect. Yetta taking back a little bit of control, and with that hit, quickly balances out that health pool. Just needs to make sure that they do not get caught by Rifa's rush. Rifa definitely looking for a win confirm of sorts. He's just going to choose to throw it out blind here on that landing. Yetta going to be able to safely block it out. And just barely holding onto a lead, but it's going to get quickly taken away by that popper. Another rush ready. This one could take the round and set things up in Yetta's advantage. But doesn't need it, as one more toaster coming in, catching Rifa on that popper side, meaning that the lockjaw cannot protect him. Rifa gonna switch over to that chakram. Once again, that means he's gonna have a lot more rush coverage. That weight advantage is more on his side too now, which means that Yetta has to be the one making all of the big calls. A 55 damage rush is not one of those calls though. And that means Rifa does have a nice opportunity to close in this Yetta into this corner and start setting himself up to take a decent chunk of health out of Yetta's health. Decent chunk of damage. The rush is going to come out, but it's not going to be able to connect fully. Only 30 damage beyond the shield breaker, so about 150 there. Rifa does have a 25% health lead. A lot of control here. Has to be careful. Doesn't want to get caught out by this rush again, as that would put Yetta in the lead. And you see Yetta is looking, just seeing if they can smell that opportunity to go in for the rush. Not going in for any grabs, just fearing a punish coming in from Rifa. Gets that deflect. It's not going to be able to connect, and Rifa going to just keep his lead by asserting it further by punishing the rush, taking it out. Quick 1-2 knockdown. Rifa now close enough to get his rush to connect, and if he does, that's going to be the KO. Yetta just patiently trying to play things as slowly as possible. Really lean hard into that Star Actress aura. But with only a few seconds left on the clock, really has to make the right call, but that there's not going to be an opportunity to. The Rat Chakram just going to be able to deal enough as is. And Rifa now advantaged 2-1. Rifa looking for one final game to claim. And if he's able to do that, that will be the Scrapstar Series, with Rifa continuing this win streak. Yetta has to take him down here. No more options! And it's going to be that Twin Tails stepping in one last time. Rifa going flat back Scully and Toaster? Phoenix, right. Meaning that Rifa is looking to take the tournament with this loadout. Yetta going in Cooler Rain Toaster. We've only seen Ribbon Girl once, and that Ribbon Girl was able to take the round, but just barely in some case, to a lot of cases, with that Chakram just being a really solid counter. So I'm likely suspecting that Yetta's just afraid of that rush potentially coming out, or that loadout. So we're just going to see a much more steady character, somebody a lot more consistent. Twin Tail just has so much control in the general battlefield. That clapback still going to prove to be a huge challenge to just kind of fight through, as it can kind of eat through pretty much everything. Yetta just choosing to take the chips hit there. Goes in for the punish, but it's not going to be able to connect. Rifa just quickly leaping right out of the way himself. And with this slow tempo, the slow movement, is slowly taking the lead. A quick Toaster is going to allow Yetta just to keep that ever so slight lead. Rifa just kind of making sure that there isn't too much of a difference until recently, as he's starting to get read a little bit easier by this Twin Tail movement, these setups. Now with that center platform open, it's just going to be a lot more difficult for either side to be the aggressor. Rifa just acknowledging he can't do this. He's going to dance. He's going to dance. Yeah, they're going to enjoy some fun in the sky, utilizing that trampoline. Phoenix coming equipped. That's definitely going to be a little more effective at trying to play around. It's going to be a lot more aggressive. And Yetta's going to have to play a lot more on the move in response to this, as that Scully and Phoenix can just be a really scary just punish and poke combo. A nice hit punish, though, is going to allow Yetta to take that rush away from Rifa, keep himself well close to being able to take control of this round. And a nice punish attempt, a solid dodge, but Rifa just so fast, so ready on the move. He's going to be able to get out of the way without pressure, leaving himself vulnerable to any damage. Yetta trying to get this pressure, trying to get some damage in, but right now Rifa just holding on to a very solid health lead and is slowly just bringing it further and further with these Scully pokes, these Phoenixes, these Phoenix clips. And without that close range opportunity, Yetta is just struggling to find a way in. Rifa just needing a couple more hits to be able to take Yetta down on this round. Both players likely not going to want to utilize Rush here. With 25 seconds left on the clock, be a very difficult comeback for Yetta. And it's Rifa just not worried about anything. He's going to set himself up with set point. Yetta going to go in. This is it. That's the double gloves. At mid-range, at long range, just a safe boxing style on those gloves is just going to be incredibly difficult for anybody to play against. It looks like Yetta is actually focusing very hard on close range combat and is going to be able to catch that dash. Starts off with 280 damage, a couple of strong uncharged hits. Now gets to move back, play a little bit more defensively. But that might actually be detrimental if Rifa can just find a way to line up these little pokes, these little Scullies slipping in between the live stream. That rush not going to be able to connect. Yetta holding on to control here, holding on to that lead. But 2 poison stacks in, and that's going to quickly take another chunk of health away from Yetta. All Yetta needs is that rush here to be able to connect. If they find that opportunity, the score will be brought to 2-2, and they might be able to still hold that chance to be able to take the Scrapstar Series from Rifa. Rifa just weaving around, dancing like a ninja madman, just not getting caught by anything but this rush. And the score is now 2-2. I'm suspecting Rifa's going to be bringing out that Ninjara now. This is the final round. Whoever takes this. Will Rifa get to keep his streak going? Or is Yetta going to be able to close things down? And force him to start another win streak? Or is Yetta going to be able to run a win streak of their own? Only time will tell. As Yetta chooses to stick to Twintel. And Rifa gonna go in with the Orange Ninjara here, not even choosing to go in with the Tri-Blast Ice Dragon. He's confident he knows something. He knows a trick or two that he wants. And it looks like he's gonna be taking us to Temple Grounds for the bracket reset, that final match. He's gonna start off with the Lockjaw and the Popper. Meaning that this is gonna be a strong loadout for trying to find a way between these attacks. That heavyweight just allowing him to be able to punch through these toasters. And it's gonna allow the Popper to find small windows to get these strikes in. But, double toaster. Yetta generally will have an easy time trying to weave between these attacks and just making sure that they do not get caught out by that Lockjaw. This is actually can be a pretty balanced match, a pretty balanced exchange. It's all about that movement, it's all about that positioning, finding what point, when you need to do what. And so far, Rifa has a little bit of an idea on what he wants to do more, holding on to that slightest of leads, but Yetta gonna quickly take it away. Both players ready with Rush, just trying to find that opportunity to get it to go in. Just focusing on pretty hard on neutral too, just holding control, making sure that they're not making any risky plays. And just as this time is expanding, or as the timer is ticking down, Yetta's starting to take more and more control, just zoning Rifa out and making this, just preventing him from really getting this damage that he's looking for. 10 seconds left, 5 seconds left on the clock. That rush will not be enough anymore. Not even some chip exchange damage. And Yetta's going to be able to take the first round. Now, looking for that one final win. To take Rifa out and end the bracket reset. Or end the win streak. For once and for all. Starting off fairly strong, getting some nice defensive plays, trying to weave between these attacks. Neither player has yet to hit, but the uncharged clip is going to offer an opportunity. But Rifa going to be the one to come off on top. A 160 damage rush, followed up by that charged Popper. Both players still extremely close on health. That rush really did not do as much damage as Rifa probably was hoping for. And that means that Yetta just has more opportunity, more time to really just lead into this health advantage. Both players quickly charging up another rush. Yetta going to be the first one ready. Might want to try to throw it out before Rifa has his. But that's not going to be an opportunity as Rifa quickly charges his now. And again, both players extremely close on health. Yetta does have a very strong rush advantage in the exchange, but if Rifa just finds a way to slip between these attacks, he could easily get a rush that can just do an immeasurable amount of damage, or if he just finds a nice win confirm. A couple of exchanges, Rifa slightly deepening his lead, but Yetta definitely can take the KO. Set themselves in lead if they choose to go for that rush. They're not going to have the time to, though, as one more Popper sets Rifa up. And now, one final round to determine who's going to be able to take the 24th Scrapstar Series. Yetta choosing to stick with the double toasters here. One final swing, one final song with it. Rifa gonna go in Popper, Slamamander, but so far it's not working out to his favor as that rush comes out, Yetta safely blocking it out. and is just cementing a health lead. These efforts just not working out in Rifa's interests. A quick disarm. Rifa's actually, he's gonna get some better tempo and is gonna punish the rush out, meaning that these two are on equal footing yet again. Rifa quickly pushing back though and is gonna make sure that he has that advantage in control as he now has a rush ready. And Yetta just barely above in health. He's gonna go for the rush and it's gonna be able to connect. The Mander just barely touching at the end for 225. Both players just barely in critical condition now. Yetta just above, below, Rifa just above. This rush would actually be enough if Yetta can get a full connection or just one final tip and then follow it up. There it is! Yetta's just looking for that rush. Throws it out, and it's gonna connect. Magic Pixel, Rifa still in this. Rifa does not want to give up. 10 seconds left on the clock. He's gotta find his way in, and dives into the toaster, closing out his win streak. And meaning that Yetta will take the 24th Scrapstar Series. Congratulations to Yetta taking first place, Rifa taking second. And shout out to Yam for taking third place. Some excellent plays from everybody. Great games from everyone all around. Shout out to @Detective SSBU for the new scoreboard tool. I like it.